What's going on, everyone? D-Stroy right here in Trill, Phoenix, Arizona. Show off your gems with this phenomenal MC lyricist who definitely made me smile several times by way of amazing music and just energy alone. Tash, welcome of the Alkaholiks. When you first walk into Trill, what was the experience like?
Well, it took me back, man, because a lot of this shit that's in here, I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? Like the little Run DMC characters and the little, Biz Markie Doll and all that shit. That's my time period. Like I graduated in high school in '89, so, I grew up on the KRS-Ones, the Biz Marks, the Big Daddy Kanes, all that. So this story is like we call it nostalgia. It's like a nostalgia. It's like a time capsule and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like. I see a lot of stuff in here that I ain't seen in since the 80s, man.
And that's beautiful. And if we could touch on that a little bit, before Tash, was there another name you was rocking with when you was coming up?
I was, let me think. I was LA Tash at first, and then I dropped the LA. Tash is short for catastrophe. Tash stands for tough ass son of Harold, which is my grandfather who raised me after my dad was killed, murdered. When I was a kid, I think that was it. I don't remember no other MC name.
Wow, I didn't know that, man. That just took it to a whole other level.
Yeah.
The acronym, man, it's pretty amazing.
Yo.
So 4 elements of hip hop, dancing, DJing, MCing, graph. We know you got down with MCing. Any other element you got down with?
Not really, man. This don't really consider me a DJ, but when breakdancing and everything was real heavy when I was in school and stuff like that, I was always the dude with the music. I always had the box, you know what I'm saying? So when everybody else used to come to the park or where we was at and everything, the party didn't start till I got there. You know what I'm saying? So I was the one with the tapes, with the mixtapes of K-Day, with the KRS-One album, because I was born in Columbus, Ohio. So we get a lot of New York influence, through there. So my cousin would send me the albums way before LA would get it and everything. So I'd be, I was like a DJ, I had a big ass boombox, and that was my job. I never spun on nothing. I never popped. I can't say I graffiti. I tagged my name on walls before, but it wasn't graffiti though. It was more like I was one motherfuckers know I was there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? In the bathroom, everybody's going to put Tash on the bathroom. Every tour, I just beat it up.
Amazing. And now we come to a moment when you find out that you like all genres of music, but you really fall in love with hip hop in your early years. I don't know if it's around 11. I don't know what age you're at, but what's that artist or album that speaks to you that you really start to say, I really love doing this?
Well, see, it's kind of deep because I consider myself a musician before I even was rapping. I can't play instruments and nothing like that. But I was on tour with Al Green. I don't know, the soul singer Al Green. I have 2 godfathers, but him and his guitar player Teeny are my godfathers. My mom used to work for Al Green, so I was getting home studies and everything on tour with Al Green and all that when I was a little kid. So by the time rap music and everything and hip hop and everything came about, my dad was in a group called the Chandlers. It was a singing group, like the Temptations kind of thing.
Yeah.
And shit like that. So music has always been in my bones and my blood or whatever. And then when hip hop came out, I think the album, I just remember like, I was into the culture like everybody else, but I remember distinctly I had like a tube of toothpaste in my hand reciting, saying Criminal Minded album in the mirror, you know what I'm saying? Criminal Minded, you've been blinded, all this shit and everything. So that kind of that turned me on. Then when we was in high school, I think LL, you know what I'm saying? LL was everybody's inspiration because he looked like he was rich as fuck. He was young. You know, he could rap. He like he could beat you up, serve you. He had the bitches. You know what I'm saying? He had all the
all around.
He playing with a full deck and shit, man. Like, you know, so I think LL, you know, that was an inspiration too to make me want to get on the mic. You know.
So now, as a lyricist, your flow was always on point. Who was somebody who was a fan of Tash and what you was doing with the licks that you were like, oh, word, that's dope?
What, somebody give me props?
Yeah. Like if it was an actor, an artist, another artist that you was kind of like, wow, you know, I really appreciate that right there.
I mean, there's certain people like Mike Epps, the comedian Mike Epps gave me a big prop one time. You know, he came up and maybe, you know, let me know I was doing them dudes crazy, man. I'm just thinking about it. But Cedric the Entertainer, of course, like Dr. Dre, a lot of people, man, they give me lines, man. Like, that's why when people always say that we underrated, I don't see it because every time somebody come up, they put me on some kind of list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like, you're one of my favorite from the West Coast.
Yeah.
They tell me shit like that and everything. I'm like, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know.
All right, y'all. Right here, I'll show off your gems with Tash. Now we're gonna get into some gems and see what the gentleman has to say. You know, any stories right here. This, you know, you can hold on. Of course, that is Eminem.
Eminem.
Bicycle situation. But if you can, any story that you can hear.
That's another person that gave me super props when I first met him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I met him at the hip hop shop first. That was a popular spot in Detroit that everybody used to battle in, and we did a concert in there one time, I think, or we was rapping or something. I remember the hip hop shop, and I think Eminem was there, but what tripped me out was that years later, I was in New York. I was in the Roger Williams Hotel. That's where we used to stay at, 32nd and Madison. And I got a call, and I don't know if it was somebody from Loud called me or somebody called me, and they said, hey man, what you doing and everything? And I said, I'm chilling. And they said, we got this rapper that wanna meet you. He said he's up on your shit and he fucks with, you know, he think you dope and this and that, and you know, he's talented. And I said, okay, cool. I said, what's the catch and everything? He's like, he's a white boy. And I said, what's the catch though? You know what I'm saying? I said, a lot of, you know, white people, and he's like, I think he's better than all the black people. You know what I'm saying? Like this. And I said, man, just bring him up. And him and Big Top, Paul Bunyan, his manager and everything. And they came, Rosenberg. And they came and he played his shit. And I mean, I really see the whole thing was that he brought him to me on some MC shit because I didn't have no label, I didn't have no this, I didn't have no that. And all we did was just compliment each other. Me and Eminem just sat there like, you the shit, dude, you the shit, dude. You know, back and forth and shit like that. And from that point on, I mean, we've been on the road with Eminem, with Exhibit and, you know, Eminem and everything. So, you know, shout out to Eminem, he's still doing his thing. That's longevity at his finest. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know. Shit, I'm trying to think of an Eminem story you said, but.
Yeah, let me see this right here. This is.
What's he got right there?
This is Eminem Street Jammers, die-cast body. It's, you know, that's pretty dope. You know, live immortalized in a figure, which is kind of fire. So salute.
Oh man, you want some figures?
Oh, he gonna hit me with a gem? What?
You want some figures?
Woo! Woo!
Hey, look, the white with the kids walk up.
Salute.
Hey kids, these ain't toys for you.
So
What's
this right here is, you know, Records Are Forever. You can pull that out. I just want to, you know, give the dude his salute. This is Max.
Shout out to my man. He just made this for
Max
us.
One, Records Are Forever. Just did this piece right here and saluted Tash with it. So it's really dope. Always love when a hip hop head can give the flowers to another general, man. Really dope. Here, put that in the
Shout
stash.
out to Wild Child.
Tash.
He was on this album a couple times, and he was in here tonight performance. I show you longevity, man. Like, we doing songs off this album 28 years later.
Yes.
93, about 27 years later, something like that. So, good shit, man. Thanks.
There you go, B. Show off your gems. Next one. Here we go. Another piece we have. This is a super. This got some years on it. As you can see, it's got a little. It paid its dues. This is a Snoop Vital Toys piece right here. That's like a like a 10, 12 inch or something like that. Pretty interesting. pretty bugged out. But it's dope nonetheless.
Look, they got the little gold chains. They come with the little gold chains.
Yes.
That's dope.
So
shout out to Snoop, man. He just lost his mother, man. I still
That's
have
peaceful.
mine, so I can't imagine what that's like, man. But just know that the homies and we all we send our love and condolences and prayers, man.
For sure.
You know, you got a strong family and just much love, prayers sent, man.
There you go. So now we got this piece right here. If you can, you know, creative dude, brought a lot of attention to a lot of people, but if you could share anything like about Snoop or...
I mean, I don't like to go into people's business and everything, so I ain't gonna say what I want to say, but I'm just gonna say thank you, Snoop, because he, I think that the song I did with him and Corrupt and Exhibit, that's I sold the most singles of any record I ever put out with that song right there.
Nice.
You know, so
and he's
shout out
got
to Dog.
Salute to Snoop Dogg and Bow Wow, B.
Little Bow Wow. That's what. Oh, I got a story about Little Bow Wow, man.
Yeah?
And it got something to do with Snoop too.
There you go.
And you can bring my cousin E Swift over here for this one, because like realistically, man, I don't think I ever even told anybody this story on camera. But,
Okay. E
but
Swift.
there would be no Little Bow Wow without Tash, because what happened is that Little Bow Wow and me were born in the same city, which is Columbus, Ohio. So I didn't know his pops or anything like that. But I guess his mom and pops were his manager and everything. But I remember I used to go back and forth. I was living in LA at the time. But I used to go back to Columbus to see my family and my grandmother and all this, you know, people and shit like that, man. But anyway, one summer I went back and I had this demo tape that Swift did. Swift used to be my we had a group called Tash and Swift, I think, or some shit. That was it. Like, we couldn't think of nothing. Was it Tash and Swift? But anyway, Swift had this. I had this demo tape. It was before I met Jay. I mean, no, it wasn't before I met Jay. I'm tripping. But I had a demo tape of just me by myself on it. So I took it back to Columbus, Ohio, and I had this dude named DJ Wiz, rest in peace. He used to sell, he used to sell hot shit from out of town. Like I said, the New York influence and everything. Like people wanted to hear that hip hop, so he sell a lot of my tapes to different people and shit, whatever. So the bottom line is that a friend of his came over to he's DJ Wiz to buy some tapes and blah blah blah. So he said, so to do some tapes, whatever. So months go by, right? So I'm talking to DJ Wiz. And he's like, hey man, he said, check this out. He said, tonight I went to this concert, and he said, you remember the little boy that was, the little kid? He said, remember he playing with the car seat and all that? And I had no clue what he's talking about. Bow Wow had to be like 7 or 6, but he was like a little 6, like he was smart, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever, so he wasn't Bow Wow, of course, at this time, but he was like, man, he was like, I took my people and everything to the Snoop Dogg concert tonight, and Snoop Dogg saw this little kid, and the little kid's dad was like, yeah, my son raps and everything. And he said, okay, Snoop Dogg said, well, if he rap, first of all, what is he doing in here? Because he's a baby, but he's backstage at the Snoop Dogg concert with all the weed and everything, and all this shit. So he told him, he said, rap. So the little boy rapped for him. And so he said, hey man, he said, Snoop, we're crazy. Snoop love this shit and everything. He said, but tripping though. He said, the rap off your demo tape. That's what he said to Snoop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what the little kid said. So I said, you bullshitting. I said, you tripping, dude. I said, whatever, dude. I laughed it off and everything, and I went back to LA. So months and months later, I see that Snoop signed this little kid. So he's like, hey, Tash, he said, hey, man, I'm telling you, that little kid, he got signed off your rap. The little boy kicked your rap to Snoop, and Snoop signed him immediately.
Wow.
Flew him out to LA and all this shit, right? So I'm still thinking like, so what I'm supposed to do, sue a little kid, sue a 5-year-old and shit? I'm laughing at this shit, right? So then me and Swift is sitting there, just like weeks later, or months later, whatever, a couple months later, week, whatever. So I'm hearing about this little boy and everything that's signed to Snoop and everything. He was like the talk of the town and everything. So my boy, once again, Wiz put me up on info and shit from the city. He was like, hey man, he said, what time is it out there, Taz? And I said, I don't know. He said, did Arsenio Hall come on yet? And I said, nah, it says 3-hour time difference. He said, watch Arsenio Hall tonight. And I said, wait, he said, click. He just hung up on me and shit. So I'm living with Swift at the time. So I said, Swift, I said, this nigga just always said, watch Arsenio Hall. So me and Swift, he said record it. That's what he said.
Yeah,
So me
yeah,
and Swift
yeah.
had the VHS, you know, the big
Yeah.
They probably got VHS in this motherfucker somewhere. But so we got ready, and so we started recording this shit. And if you ever watch the Arsenio Hall where Snoop introduced the world to Lil Bow Wow comes, he does a little interview with Snoop, and then he says, he said, you rap, don't you? And so the band hits this thing, and he come out and say my whole rap, my whole shit off my demo tape on Arsenio.
What?
Just straight stole my shit. You know what I'm saying? So now we sitting here like, what the fuck just happened? Because if you watch that, if you go back in, cause I know this is a vintage show.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch Arsenio Hall and watch Lil Bow Wow rap, the song I had was called Styles. So I broke down like hella styles in one rap and everything.
Yes.
But so the first thing I say is, Style 1, nigga, cause I'm conscious as a Nubian. First of all, no 5-year-old writes no shit like that. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So this kid's straight.
Wow.
He got that reference over here. And me and Swift was sitting there like, what the fuck just happened? We sit there watching Arsenio Hall, the world was watching this.
Yes, of course.
And we watching a 5-year-old say my rap that I never met. You know what I'm saying?
My gosh, that's madness.
Hey, Swift. I'm telling about Lil Bow Wow.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
That's madness.
And so the funny shit was that, like you know, I have my own shit going. You know, with the Alkaholiks shit, we popping, so I wasn't even.
Tripping,
I kind of let it slide, but I never got a thank you or nothing and shit like that. So I seen Lil Bow Wow at the club one time and said he was in Miami or somewhere and shit. And I tried to tell him about it, but now he ain't Little Bow Wow no more. He Big Bow Wow, you know,
Yeah.
grown ass Bow Wow and shit. He had all these bodyguards and shit with him. I'm trying to tell him the story, but I never met him before. So basically, I'm trying to say, hey nigga, the reason you in this club with all them diamonds and shit on and all the cars and all this shit, that's because of me, motherfucker. But we're in the club and we talking so loud, it's like I'm yelling at him.
Yeah.
He looking like, who the fuck is this and everything? And I'm like, me, motherfucker, you. And I'm going like this, and I'm drunk as hell. I'm toe up and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it hit me. I was like, this motherfucker don't know what I'm talking about. This is not a good time to be because bodyguards talk up, you know what I'm saying?
Course.
And I was just like, I wonder if I could tell you this another time and shit like that. So basically, I
Wow.
left the club and everything, and I said, damn, that was the closest I ever got to telling this motherfucker, your career started with Tash. Wow. And I never even got a thank you.
What a
Not
gem.
even a thank. And then I talked to his dad on the phone one time. And I don't know if his dad or his mama managed it. And I tried to tell him about it, like, hey man, let me talk to you. I just wanted to tell him the original, where it came from.
For
you know what I'm
sure.
saying? Just so
That's
he,
important.
you know, this
Foundation.
And that. Even if he just had the demo tape in his car and he didn't know who I was or this or that, I just want to tell him his story, how his son got put on. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And this might be because I never even told that story ever, so that might be.
It's a gem.
But anyway, to make a long story short, congratulations, Lil Bow Wow. He's from Columbus, Ohio. We're from the same neighborhood.
C-Bus. There you go. Right here, show off your gems live at Trill with Tash. Tash, thank you so much for being amazing, for
Man,
looking
we just
healthy. It's
chilling,
very
man.
important. And if you can, to put a battery in the people's back who are viewing to feel good, any words of positivity you can share with the human beings who are viewing?
Word of advice, positivity, don't drink and drive.
Boom.
Because you might spill your drink.
Yes! Or you might spell something wrong when you're texting.
Nah, that's
right?
what's up. That's
There
what it
we
is.
go. Success and nothing
Liquid.
less.
Thanks for
we
having
go.
me. That's what's
Done. Fucking annoying, this motherfucker.
up. Whose big ass shoe is this?
Trill, we got your hip hop needs covered.